The soul that truly desires to please God should expect warfare. Grace does not dwell in a soul that strives for comfort and avoids every cross. Saint Macarius of Egypt.
Whispers from the threshold invisible. Discover the hero within.
Part 1. The Summons. The sky was quiet when the messenger came. A silver falcon, wing scorched from flight, landed at the edge of the well where Calum was drawing water, tied to its leg, a scroll sealed in black wax. To Calum of Orendel, if your oath yet binds you, come to the high hall by moonrise. The princess is taken. The war has begun. He read it once, then twice. Then he left the bucket where it hung and turned toward the stables. Calum was not the strongest knight in Orendel, nor the fastest. His armour bore no sigil. His name had no song. But what he had, what none could strip from him, was fidelity. 10 years ago he'd sworn himself to the line of Aurelian, protector of the realm, and more privately, to Elira, daughter of the king. They had spoken only once beneath the fire boughs of the garden, but her voice had stayed with him like a vow he never dared to utter aloud. Now she was gone, taken by a force that rose not from one kingdom, but from the depths beneath all kingdoms, a force older than time, and known only as the enemy. And the king had summoned him, not the generals, not the war masters, him. He rode out alone by moonlight, a single blade at his side and no banner above him. "Calum," said the keeper of the gate as he passed, "you're just one man. They say 10 others have failed." "I'm not 10 others," Calum replied and spurred on. But in truth, doubt gripped him. He was not prepared for war. And this would be no war of armies. This would be a war for the soul. Part 2. The 3 Lies. The road bent westward into the highlands. Calum rode in silence, save for the wind and the slow breath of his horse. It was the kind of land where men lose time. Days blurred. Even shadows moved strangely. He was 5 days out from Orendel when the first lie found him. The first lie. Comfort. It came in the form of an inn. Not a ruin, not a trap. A warm and well-built inn nestled in a grove of olive trees, firelight flickering through its shuttered windows. He hadn't eaten in a day, and his limbs ached from sleep on hard ground. A kindly woman stepped from the door. "You poor soul," she said. "Come in, rest. You ride with no colours. Your quest is hopeless." Calum paused. "How do you know I ride for a quest?" he asked. She smiled. "Because I've seen 100 like you. Brave eyes, empty hands. You think you go to war for love. But what has love ever done for you?" She laid a gentle hand on his chest. "You've already proven your devotion. Let someone else save her." The door opened wider. Warmth, meat, wine, laughter inside. He wavered. Then he looked down at his boots, cracked, blood-specked, dust-covered, and he whispered, "No." He turned without another word. Behind him, the inn vanished like smoke. The second lie, failure. 3 days later, as mist fell upon the rocks, Calum came upon a traveller seated beneath a crooked yew. He wore the armour of Orendel, older, rusted, but unmistakable. "You there," said the man. "Come share my fire." Calum dismounted warily. "Who are you?" "I am Sir Jorik," said the man, "once sent on the same mission you now bear." He poured a draught of bitter water into a tin cup and handed it to Calum. "You'll fail, as I did. Not because you lack heart, but because the enemy is cleverer than you know. Elira." is already lost. Kylam stared at the fire. I know her, the knight continued. I saw her once before the tower took her. Her eyes were gone. She didn't even know her name. Kylam said nothing, but deep inside, something cracked. I failed because I refused to turn back, said Yorick. You can succeed by leaving now. Go home, marry a farm girl, live. Kylam stood. I don't seek success, he said, and walked on. The third lie. Doubt on the 8th night, the road gave way to thorns and fog. He heard the whisper before he saw her. Kylam. It was Elira's voice. He turned. A figure emerged from the mist, slender, radiant, tearful. Turn back, please, she said. This war is not yours. He stepped forward. Elira! I'm not worth it, she said. Not any more. I'm not the girl you remember. She reached out her hand, the same hand he had once touched beneath the garden fire boughs. He took one trembling step closer. His eyes welled. But then he remembered. Elira never called him by name. Not once. He drew his sword. Be gone. The fog collapsed with a shriek, and so he continued, half-starved, torn in flesh and spirit, but still riding. And in the distance now, just beyond the ridge, he could see it, the black spire of the Tower of Grief, waiting. Part 3. The Beast and the Blade. The tower loomed ahead, taller than any tree, darker than any storm, but Kylam could not reach it yet, not without crossing the Vale of Cinder, where the dragon waited. It was said the creature had slept for 1,000 years, its breath the ash of 10 kingdoms. Many claimed it was a myth. Kylam knew better. The air changed as he neared its lair. The earth was scorched and brittle. Bones littered the path. The sky itself seemed to withdraw. And then, without warning, it spoke. You are late, little knight. Its voice echoed from every stone, low and vast like thunder trapped in a tomb. Kylam stood his ground. I didn't come to meet you. Yet here you are, said the dragon, emerging from the cliffside, scales the colour of dried blood, wings folded like a cloak of razors. Its eyes were ancient, tired, amused. You come for the girl, yes? The one in the tower? Kylam said nothing. The dragon laughed. I've eaten heroes finer than you, but I'm bored of blood, so I'll make you a better offer. It leaned close, breath hot and bitter with old fire. Turn back, I'll make you a king. You can live 100 years in peace with 10 wives and 20 sons. The realm needs no martyr. Kylam stared at the blade in his hand. It shook. He thought of his childhood, his mother's death, his father's silence, the years spent training in shadow, always second best, never quite seen. He had no lineage, no legacy. No one would remember him if he died. The dragon smiled wider, sensing the tremor in his grip. And then he raised the sword. No. You choose death, the dragon hissed. I choose her. The fight was not fair. It was flame against flesh, thunder against bone. Twice he was thrown. Once his blade shattered. But he rose again, found a jagged spear among the ruins, and in one final charge plunged it through the dragon's eye. The beast roared and writhed and fell. Smoke poured from its mouth. The earth trembled. Then stillness. Kylam collapsed beside it, every limb screaming. His face was burned, his body broken, but his will was intact. And the path to the tower lay open. Part 4. The Tower of Grief. The doors of the tower did not open. There were no guards, no gates, only a stairwell carved from obsidian, coiling upward like the spine of some ancient beast. Kylam climbed with what strength remained. Blood from his side marked each step. It was silent. No wind, no birds, no drums of war. Just breathe, one after another. At the top was a single chamber, and in it Elira. She stood facing the window, pale as moonlight, her hair once golden, now hung in strands of silver and black. She did not turn. "Calum," she said, softly, like remembering a dream. He stepped forward, tears cutting trails through the soot on his face. "I came," he said. "I know," she whispered. When she turned, he saw what the tower had done to her. Her eyes were not hollow, but they had seen too much. She was not bound, but she was not free. "The enemy," she began, "did not chain me. He simply told me the truth." "What truth?" "That I was too much, too strange, too willful. That I would break what I touched, that no one could love me without pain." She looked up. I believed him. Calum dropped to his knees. "I crossed fire for you," he said. "I faced monsters that wear human faces and men who spoke kindly but dripped poison. I fought a beast who promised me peace in exchange for silence." He reached for her hand. "You are not a burden. You are the battle, and I chose you." Elira trembled. "But I am broken." Calum nodded. "So am I." And then, without fanfare, without light or trumpet, a quiet crack echoed through the tower. The walls wept dust. The curse, whatever it was, broke. Because the tower did not bind her. Her shame did. And love had come, not to rescue, but to carry the cross beside her. They walked out together, slowly. No triumph, no parade. Only two souls, bruised and limping, stepping into the light. At the foot of the hill, the people of Orendel had gathered, silent, unsure what to expect. When they saw her, alive, worn, unbowed, they wept. And when Calum collapsed from his wounds, she caught him. Epilogue. They say he never raised a sword again. But his name was sung in every village every winter when the fire cracked and the winds howled. They called him the knight who chose the cross. Not for glory, but for love.
This has been a production of the Artists Agora, which you can find on the web at artistagora.com. All stories written and produced by James D. Newcomb.